What's up everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel KNfilm. This video will be a little bit different than usual. I will tell you something about myself and I will also show what gear I'm using. My name is Kasper Nørgaard and my main niche are reviews of camera gear and equipment for filmmaking. I am an educated engineer working as a project manager for Siemens Gamesa, and in my spare time I have a small film commercial company. Besides that, I create these YouTube videos. And I live in Denmark with my wife, our daughter and a small dog. My YouTube studio constantly changes depending on the creativity, my mood and which product I'm reviewing. My studio is located in a basement, so you only have the ceiling height of 2 meters. The room is 4 by 2.5 meters. And this room is a combination of a home office, a YouTube studio and a guest bedroom, so I really have a limited space to create, just like I know many of you have. Today's setup will look like this. I will now switch over to my second camera, the Panasonic Lumix G85, and I will take a look behind the scenes to show you the room I'm filming in. After that, we will look at the camera I'm shooting with right now. I have now switched over to the G85 and now I can show you my rig over here. This is my camera rig. I know many of you would say it's maybe a little bit too much, but I like that I can have everything mounted to one rack and everything is done. Normally when I go to a client shoot, I will also bring a handle like this or a shoulder pad and a shoulder pad like this, but that's not necessary for a YouTube video. This is my setup also with clients. When I'm working with clients, I also have maybe wireless video systems from GIMBLE or from Inki, which I also can use on this setup. But let's bring it down. We have this GH5 that I'm shooting on right here. I have the Metabone Speed Booster. Mostly in my YouTube studio, I use the Sigma 18 to 35 with a variable ND filter from Freewill. I use the 2 to 5 stops in the YouTube studio. I also have the 6 to 9 stops, I think it is. Yeah, 6 to 9 stops right here. On the top here we have a monitor from ESDDI, which is the main monitor that I have used, and I really see that this is very good. I get a very quick response when I'm doing manual focus and can see the peak levels and the focus peaking. This is picking up really good, but it's only a 5-inch monitor. I would like a little bit bigger. I think when this video has been released, I have released a review of a newer monitor that I'm not allowed to share right now, but it's a 6-inch monitor with some features, and I hope that will be my main monitor from now on. This is what I have been using so far. Very nice. I have a monitor mount, a clickable monitor mount up here from Vaxis. For the audio, I have the Rode Video Micro, and normally when I do YouTube videos, I use these small wireless microphones. And this is the Comica Boom XD, which I'm using with the Rode Lav Go plugged into. I like this mic a little bit better than the original that is included with the Boom, the Comica Boom XD. I think it gives a little bit more depth and it's a much smaller form factor, which I like. This is the D version you have. That means you have 2 of them. Comica released a Pro version which can record internally also. And the audio you heard in the beginning of this video was recorded with these Comica microphones. Right now I'm using the LensGo microphones. We have it right here, plugged into G85. As you can see, it's a little bigger. So sometimes a form factor is also a nice thing. If we keep talking about the audio, I have a Tascam DR60 Mark II on the back here. Mostly I use it when I need an XLR microphone attached. If I want to use a overhead microphone, I have the Rode NGG3. I mostly use wireless audio in the studio here because I think it's a little bit easier to set up when you don't have a lot of space, but I can use this one. On the back I have a power bank from PowerArc because the battery lifetime of this Tascam is very poor. On the bottom of most of my lights and also this one, I have a small quick release system like this. Very easy and very nice to get a quick setup. So I have that on most of my light stands. So I can simply just plug this one in, and then I can control the audio externally without having it mounted on the camera. If we take a look around the GH5, I have a cage from Niceyrig. It's a little bit cheaper than the small rig, and I think it works great. I can also see it's a little bit cheaper because the paint can also tone off. On the top you can see I have a handle. It's also from Niceyrig, but the nice thing about this handle is that it has a NATO rail. So I can really quick take the handle off. And this is a very small NATO rail mount with a shoe mount also. So you get the option of attaching more. I think this is from Small Rig. On the side over here, I have an HDMI connection mount. So I can simply take my monitor and plug it directly into this one. And it's secured, and the same with the audio. It's secured to the cage. So it's very simple to take everything off. When I'm out shooting for a client, I'm also using this focus puller from Tilta, which I think is very good. And if we take a look at the front, I have a teleprompter where I can place in my script on the front here. This is from Best View, this brand up here, and the design is not that good. So I redesigned this one by 3D printing some parts that I made in on my computer. Normally you attach this one directly to your lens, and that brings a lot of tension to your lens and the camera mount, and I really don't like that. So I printed a case around here so I can adjust this position to align up with my lens, and also the other position right here. You have the option to attach it to almost every setup, camera setup, and I'm really satisfied with this. I will make a video in the future. Also, to attach this one, you have to use a screwdriver and attach screws from the back. But with my small design here, you simply just press it in, add this, which I also printed, and now it's in tension, and it will keep its position. On the side here, I have a small rig mount for a railing. So if I want to use it without these railings, I can attach a rod right here and still use wireless focus pull or this from Tilta. I have a base plate from Small Rig. I use Manfrotto plates, and somebody would say it's too much with these railings, but I use that together with my teleprompter, and I think it works really great. Let's move over to the lighting. I am still using cheap LED lights from ESDDI, and I think it works fine for me. But the lights I really want to use are the Godox VL150 or the WeLight Ninja 200. But the softbox I got currently for this one is a 90 centimeter softbox from Nice Photo, and it's simply too big for this small space. So until I can get my hands on a smaller one and maybe use the WeLight, because maybe this one will get too big in here, I will only use that for client work, I still have to use the ones from ESDDI. I have a lot of lights, and I have some lights, but I will just show you quickly some of it. I have the P200 from Digital Photo. I have some pocket lights. I have the F7 from Falcon Eyes. I have a tube light here from Falcon Eyes, the Arisa 1. Very good, also because it's magnetic, so I can just put it on these water pipes behind me. I think that's really good. The LED bulb I have behind here is bicolored, so I can change when I'm working. I can use daylight, and when I'm recording these videos, I can make it a little bit more tungsten color. On the back here, I have a tube light, but it's a wall fixture. I got it really cheap from a company's garage sale. I should have bought all of them. I think they had 5 or something. But I didn't, and I regret that because I really like it. And in music videos, it would look amazing. But I only had that one. I have another pocket light here from Niceyrig, the R1. I also recently got one from Cobalt, the PL8R. I have a small one from Viltrox right here, also with that mount. So if you have an arm like this, you can hang it from a water pipe or whatever you'd like to hang it from, and that is really good. This is a small COB light that I made. I designed and made before I got my first COB light. It's not that bright, but it's to light up the background or me or from behind, or make a fun pattern on the wall or whatever you'd like. It's dimmable, so I think that's really good. It's a very cheap LED, so I can just buy a much more expensive LED and get a much better light, but this works fine for this situation at the moment. It takes an NPF style battery on the top here, and on the back I made it magnetic so I can see what's inside, and I made a switch for the fan, because I put in a fan also to cool down the light. You need to do that on these small cheap onboard LED lights. Another light I also made is this flexible light. You can bend it in each direction that you want, which also with cheap LEDs. When I was starting, that didn't matter anything, but I think it worked great, and I've been using this. I used that a lot in the beginning. I have a small controller here which I 3D printed, and I can control the bicolor temperature. Now let's just move quickly over to the tripods. On the G85 I have a small tripod from ESDDI with an Arca Swiss plate. I've used that on that system. I have a cheap Velbon, I think it's $100 something. For my GH5 with the Manfrotto plate, I enjoy this one because it's small, but what I really like is this one, the Miliboo MTT605A. But as you can see, it's really big, and as I said, my YouTube space is very small, so this is brought to me on shoots. I have much more light and equipment besides this one, and I think I will make a video in the future, so tune in for taking a look at that. I mentioned that I use the Sigma 18-35 the most. I have an additional lens here, which I also use, the 24-105 from Canon. I have the EF mount so I can use Canon lenses. Mostly I bring this on my shoots because I can cover a big area with this one. It's f4, so it's not as bokeh as you would like to, and especially not on the GH5, but I think it covers a very large area. If I'm getting very close, I use the Sigma. Also have other lenses, but I will not show them here because I don't use them in my studio. Before starting recording my videos, I use this cheap white balance card so I can set the right temperature in the camera, and I get some nice colors, I hope. I think that was it this time. Shout out to Sir Eden for making this happen, and I'm looking forward to see the other creators as well. I will make a video in the future about all my camera gears because I have much more that I don't use on a daily basis. But thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe down below, and I will see you in the future.